The gunshot echoed across the training facility before anyone could process what was happening. Sergeant Marcus Reeve had drawn his sidearm and fired in one fluid motion, the kind of reflex that came from 30 years of military service. The target was Recruit 247, barely 3 weeks into the neural enhancement program. She didn't flinch. Her hand moved, not quickly, not desperately, but with an almost lazy precision that defied physics. The bullet stopped inches from her palm, suspended in mid-air as if time itself had reconsidered its trajectory. Then her fingers closed around it, and she smiled. "Impressive reaction time, Sergeant," she said, her voice carrying across the stunned silence of the observation deck. Reeves' jaw tightened. He'd been testing enhanced soldiers for 5 years, ever since the Synaptic Augmentation Initiative began turning ordinary humans into something more. But this was different. The recruit hadn't activated any visible tech. No energy shields flickered. No exoskeleton whirred to life. She'd simply caught a bullet the way someone might catch a ball. "Report to my office. Now." His voice was steel wrapped in ice. The other recruits parted as she walked past them, their expressions a mixture of awe and fear. Some had optic implants that glowed faintly in the dim light. Others bore the telltale marks of skeletal reinforcement, the slight asymmetry around joints where bone had been replaced with military-grade carbon fiber. But Recruit 247 looked entirely human. Deceptively so. In the cramped office that smelled of gun oil and old coffee, Reeve closed the door with more force than necessary. "What are you?" She placed the bullet on his desk, the metal still warm. "You know what I am. You signed off on my enhancements yourself." "The hell I did. I've reviewed every file, every procedure. You were scheduled for basic neural threading, cognitive processing upgrades, enhanced reflexes. Standard package. Nobody catches bullets with standard anything. Maybe you should read the fine print more carefully, Sergeant." Reeve pulled up her file on his holographic display, fingers swiping through pages of dense medical jargon and technical specifications. Birth name, Kira Valdez. Age, 23. Previous occupation, astrophysics researcher. No military background. No combat training. Volunteered for the program after. He stopped. There was a footnote buried deep in the approval documents, stamped with a clearance level 2 grades above his own. Project Chimera. Experimental integration of quantum state processors directly into the basal ganglia, allowing the subject to perceive and react to events at the quantum level, before they fully manifested in classical spacetime. She was seeing the future. Not metaphorically. Literally. "You knew," he said quietly. "You knew I was going to fire before I even thought about it." "I knew you were considering 18 different courses of action," Kira corrected. "Firing your weapon had a 63% probability. When you shifted your weight to your left foot, it jumped to 98%. By the time your fingers touched the grip, it was inevitable." And the smile? That was just for fun. She leaned back in her chair, utterly relaxed. "You wanted to see if I could perform under pressure. I wanted you to see that pressure is relative." Reeve sat down heavily, suddenly feeling every one of his 52 years. The military had been chasing enhanced soldiers for decades, trying to create warriors who could outthink, outfight, and outlast any enemy. They'd made super soldiers before, stronger, faster, tougher. But this was something else entirely. "They're going to deploy you," he said. "Soon. I know. I've seen 43 possible deployment scenarios. In 39 of them, I survive. And the other 4? Kira's smile faded, replaced by something harder, colder. "In those timelines, I choose not to." The weight of that statement settled between them like a third presence in the room. She could see her own death coming and had already decided whether to accept it. That wasn't enhancement. That was something approaching omniscience. "One more question," Reeve said. "Are you still human?" Kira picked up the bullet from his desk, turning it over in her fingers as if examining a curious artifact from a forgotten age. Ask me again tomorrow, Sergeant. I'll let you know if I've decided. She stood and walked out, leaving him alone with his doubts and the faint smell of gunpowder that still lingered in the air.